Alright boys, welcome back. So if you've been following the channel, it's no secret that I absolutely love the Fortnite apocalypse. I mean, I've been reading this series weekly from when it first aired, probably like a year and a half ago now, and of course the anime has just come out. So I do think if we're going to be getting a Fortnite update or collaboration, then the time will be happening very, very soon. And well, I want to throw out there that, well, the update we're getting in, you know, week and a half, that would normally be a collaboration update, but could very well be replaced by Fortnite, and instead we get Fortnite's characters instead of one big you know, collaboration. So let's talk about it. Okay, so if you lot don't know, Fortnite, they did mention it to be coming earlier this year. They mentioned in February 1st, the 2023 update, regarding 2023 updates, meaning that what they talk about right here very well will be coming out. And I will say this is highlighted in blue, so maybe they very well possibly won't come out, but what I will say is though is that they did talk about the actual story chapter being adapted in game, which we do know is not coming out this year, because this is likely going to happen when the anime is actually finished, which it just started airing, so that's fine, right? But this wasn't the first time they talked about Fortnite Apocalypse coming to 7 Days Sins, and they mentioned it at the start of the year. So I'd like to think that it's going to come at least one point during the year. And we look at the actual banner updates when it can happen, going back to last year as a reference, basically, we can kind of tell what's coming. So currently right now, we are just got Halloween Eastern. So obviously that was last year, we just got Halloween Merlin. So we do know the next update coming out in, you know, a week and a half now will be a collaboration. Following that, on November 10th, that is the only update where it's not a seasonal character, it's not an OC character, it's just a random filler banner. And that is when I believed we could be getting Percival, because that'll be the only time we can get a normal 17 character. Knowing that though, they'll probably replace it with an OC, so we'll have to wait and see. Then obviously 2 weeks later, we get obviously the new festival banner, which I did think would be Chaos Alpha, but I now think Chaos Alpha has been moved to the actual New Year's, mainly because they actually delayed our actual 7 Sins chapter update. We were supposed to get a 7 Sins story chapter, this update with the Ragnarok festival, but instead we got a Ragnarok festival, which would have been an actual 7 Sins festival. So it just meant that we kind of delayed the story even more, which means Chaos Alpha's story chapter has now been delayed at least until December. So yeah, I do think Chaos Alpha will be dropping for New Year's, which kind of breaks the tradition of getting a melee every single year for New Year's. So unless Chaos Alpha still drops in November, which they can easily do, they can still release them before the chapter is still fine, right? But yeah, we have to wait and see. But if not, then maybe, who knows, they decide to release Percival as a festival character. I think the character deserves to be a festival, but not the early start of 4 nights, right? Like, I think when he understands his power a bit more, because I think by then, would we know what his power is? I don't know. I can't tell where the anime is going to be at that point. But what is confirmed is that at the end of October, we're going to be getting a new collaboration. So let's talk about what it could be. Now, I'll definitely make another video going over the possible collaborations. That's kind of not what this video is for. But in terms of like part 2s, we're kind of done, right? We've gotten every single part 2 apart from Stranger Things. So of course, it can always be Stranger Things. However, I feel like personally, no one cares. Like, no one cares, right? Like, no one wants this to return. I don't think even the Marvel wants to return. Like, we just don't need this to return, or even Relics. I mean, I know they could buff them up, but after what they do with AOT characters, especially Mikasa, let's not return them, right? I mean, to be fair, Jim, wherever the guy is, could easily be buffed up a little bit and get a Relic that would actually make him quite good with collab characters, but now that Unknowns have been moved away from collabs and moved more towards Ragnarok, yeah, don't bother. Don't release this collaboration again. So with that being said, it does mean that the next collaboration has to be a part 3, or it has to be a new collaboration. And there was a new leaked collab a while ago that has 6 characters, by the way, meaning that, well, 4 of them could be part 1, and then the other 2 could be for part 2. That will come out probably years later. And this actually was leaked before we got AOT to come out in the game. So once again, just because this was leaked doesn't mean it has to come next. It could come the next collaboration next year, right? But yeah, since we've already gotten part 2 and new collabs are a little bit harder to get, right, I'm gonna go out and say, well, maybe this update that would typically add 4 new characters if it was a new collaboration, maybe a Fortnite update. And of course, if this was for Fortnite, this will get the 4 main characters, which would be Percival, it'll be Donnie, it'll be Neeson's, I think you say his name, and also Annie. The 4 of the main characters, right? Not the Fortnite Apocalypse, despite the anime being called that, but you're not supposed to know who the Fortnites are for a very long time, right? So I don't think we're gonna be getting, you know, know, Tristan, whoever I can say, Lancelot, who's been shown as well. And instead, I hope we'll get an actual Fortnite starter banner that will introduce Fortnite into Grand Cross, and it'll be one big release. But Netmarble has finally come out and acknowledged the anime. One thing I was very disappointed by Netmarble was they didn't give us any like special login for Fortnite's Apocalypse, like the anime airing, which obviously aired last week. Very hard to watch, by the way. If you actually want to watch in English, it's a bit tricky to watch. But they finally acknowledged it. And I was just saying on the Signature podcast the day prior, saying where the hell was the free login or like the free gen for like the special celebration. And they did it one day later. So they actually heard me, right? But yeah, they just gave basically, what was it, 33 gems that I'm assuming Global will get very soon. And once again, looking at our schedule, I believe we can't really fit the Fortnites in. And once again, it very well may not come. They don't explicitly say that it's going to be coming out this year. They just say that, well, you know, they put it in blue text. They put anything else in blue. So once again, maybe the blue text just means it's not coming. They just say, hey, we're going to be doing it. And this line down here does say we're going to be doing the actual story chapters later on. But once again, the actual New Year's video they put out where they do say, you know, Grand Cross is going back to its roots. That was clearly a lie. But once again, we very well could see his characters come. Alright, so if you don't know, we are going to be getting a stream at the end of the month. Every single month at the end of the month, we always get a stream to showcase whatever it is at the end of the month, which is typically a collaboration, it's typically an OC banner, Ragnarok, it's typically a festival. So the end of our months are always our big celebrations, right? And like I was saying throughout the video, this month should be the collaboration spot. But since we kind of changed our festival, I mean, it was still a festival, but like it was supposed to be the Sin update, right? But instead we got Ragnarok instead. So once again, they've changed things out this year so far, so the thing that they can change an actual collaboration update towards an actual, you know, normal update could still very be possible, because once again, I feel like just Fortnite Apocalypse right now would be perfect timing. You know, we don't need part 2s, although I would love for some more part 2s. I wouldn't mind, or I guess part 3s actually. I would love a part 3, you know, which is Shield Hero. I love a part 3 Slime, which would be like Veldora or something. Love a part 3 ReZero that adds Subaru finally and Felix. That would be very, very sick as well. So I don't mind if it's a part 3, but I think right now with the fact that we just got Fortnite in the, you know, the anime, release the hype, right? Because they're releasing that right now will be sick. And bear in mind, this will be a really big banner, because we typically don't get actual 2-person banners no more. I mean, you can look at it throughout the whole year. The only time we ever get a 2-person banner is for collaborations. Typically, if it's a part 2 or even if it's a part 1, like the first new collaboration, we get 4 new characters or 2 new characters. But if it's not an actual collaboration, it's always one solo banner. And that's kind of the bad thing since they announced Origins. If you all don't know, 27th of January, the final date we got an actual 2-person banner, which was Scarlet and Elite. That was when they announced 76 Origins, and that was literally the last time we ever got a 2-person banner that wasn't a collaboration. So to think that we could get 4 characters for 4 nights is kind of a rare thing, and would only be possible if they do decide to replace a collaboration. So that's one of my theories too. Also, despite me saying that the Fortnite update could be some sort of collaboration, I don't think if it does come to the game, it will be the collab coins. I don't think they're only going to come in collab banners. I don't think they're going to tell like once a year. I do think they'll go with like their own separate pool, very similar to we have Ragnarok and OCs, to where they're kind of on rare banners that they're their own thing, right? Like they will come back on every single Fortnite's banner, but if not, they'll be out in some festival banners too to make it a bit better, maybe some other banners to make them a bit better as well. But I don't think they're going to have this special coin around it. They'll just be a normal coin you will see like this, for example, right? But be a bit more rare since they are like the special own thing. So yeah, boys, let me know what you think. Do you think there's a new collaboration coming, or does your update drop at the end of the month? Could be Fortnite Apocalypse, because the timing is definitely just perfect. If we're gonna get it, it would be right now, but if not, we'll probably have to wait till next year. But once again, my hope right now is that we do get it instead of a collaboration, because yeah, the collaborations, it's a bit tricky right now, because we do know what's coming at the end of the year. Chaos Alpha and another big bad as well, whether that be a new Meliodas, a new Escanor, who knows what they're going to do, right? But 2 new hype banners are coming, and what better way to make people spend gems by releasing a 4-person banner for 4 nights. It will be the best way, because it'll be hype. People will go crazy in the banner, try and dupe every single 4 new characters, because, you know, if it is an actual, you know, collaboration, a lot of people do skip, because one, they may like the characters, they're typically not always the best character, but also as well, free-to-plays can't take full advantage of collaborations, and or even casual as well, right? Like, you're not going to go crazy in a collab if you can't afford it. But if it is a new Fortnite Apocalypse banner with 4 new characters, people are going to go crazy, and then they got to spend money later on for the actual end of year banner, whoever it may be. So, boys, thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.